There was something strange about this woman. Every time she got intimate, she made the man wear an ugly mask, because she said it made everything feel unusual. Edward was a man with severe facial tumors. He had lived his whole life ashamed and insecure. Only his neighbor, Anna, had ever shown him genuine kindness. Unfortunately, Anna already had a boyfriend. One day, Edward received unexpected good news. His doctor told him about a new experimental treatment that could remove the tumors from his face. Edward didn't hesitate, he agreed immediately. After the surgery, Anna invited him over for dinner. During the meal, she discovered that Edward dreamed of becoming an actor. She smiled and revealed she was a screenwriter, and she happened to be working on a script inspired by him. She hoped Edward could play the lead. That night, Edward felt an unbearable headache. In agony, he tore away the tumor from his face, and underneath, a new face appeared. The treatment had worked. From that day on, Edward was no longer treated like a freak. He changed his name and started a brand new life. One day, while walking down the street, Edward ran into Anna again. He could never forget the woman who had once shown him warmth. He quietly followed her to a theater, where open auditions were taking place for her script, the one about Edward himself. When Anna saw him, she assumed he was there to audition. Edward put on the ugly mask and began to perform. In that moment, all his old insecurities came rushing back. Yet his performance impressed Anna deeply, and she even invited him to her home to dance afterward. Not long after, she broke up with her boyfriend. Their relationship began to grow closer. Then, one day, another man appeared. A man with the same kind of facial tumors Edward once had. He introduced himself as Oz. He said he had heard about the auditions and came to take a look. When he learned the role was already filled, he simply congratulated them and left. Later, Edward ran into Oz again at a restaurant. Funny and charming, Oz quickly won over Edward's co-workers. The next day, Oz showed up at the theater and invited everyone out for dinner. With effortless charisma, he became the center of attention once more. Even at the bar, everyone seemed to know him and spoke highly of him. He even went up on stage to sing. Edward found it bitterly ironic. The very face he once hated, Oz now wore with pride, and no one laughed at him. As Oz's influence grew, Anna began considering replacing Edward, but Oz objected. He said Edward should play the version of himself who had changed his appearance. When the premiere came, the poster featured Oz's face instead of Edward's. The show was a hit, receiving rave reviews, and in the end, Anna fell in love with Oz. Edward couldn't handle it. Consumed by jealousy and madness, he put on the ugly mask again, mimicked Oz's voice, and started talking to himself. People simply assumed he'd lost his mind.